Hi everybody. In this video today we are going to look at the for loops in JavaScript. We've done the while loops before, and there's nothing that you can't do with a while loop that you can do with a for loop. A for loop has a couple of advantages to it in certain circumstances. In its simplest case, it takes care of a lot of the key features that you sometimes forget to take care of in while loops. It's got a counter embedded in it, so that if you kind of forget, it's going to kind of fail. So it will help protect you against some of those pieces. It's really good for working with arrays, which is where we're eventually going with them. For today, we're going to deal with the basics of for loops. And let's hop right over into a replit and get it going. So here I have a basic page with a header. If I run that again, we'll see that I've adjusted the styling just a little bit. I pulled a font in from Google Fonts called Patrick Hand. And other than that, I've done nothing. My script is empty, and I have nothing to run anything. So I'm going to start by dropping into a nav bar. What I'm looking for is a button I can use to launch a function. So in a nav bar, I'm going to put a span, class equals button, and I'm just going to put run. And then I'll close off my nav. And if I set that up, I can see that it's there. I haven't styled it up at all. I could do that really quickly. Nav space dot button. Now let's do it just with all buttons. We'll display it as inline block. Font size will be 0.8 rem. Font family, we'll just do some kind of a sans font. The Gill Sans will do. I'm not really concerned about it. A background color of gray and a color of white. And on a hover, I'm going to just change the color to yellow. That should get us enough that we can be getting on with. We'll put a cursor of a pointer on there so it looks like a pointer. And I'm going to give a padding of 5 pixels to really give it some room to be. Okay. And then I'm going to create a function called loop. And really all I want to do is have it count to 10, let's say, and drop into a container. So I'm going to need a container. Div id equals container. And it's just going to stay empty for now. I could put stuff in it, but I'm not gonna. So the first thing I want to do is get that container. And then I'm going to loop through 10 times and just add to, what I'll do is I'll create an element that says that number and I'll add it into that. That'll be pretty good. And first I'll show you how I would do it with a while loop, because we've done this before, right? Var counter equals 0, while counter is less than 10. We'll do var el equals document.create element div el.classlist.add count, we'll call it. el.innerHTML is going to equal counter. So it'll say whatever number I'm at, starting at 0. And then we're going to say that container.append child el. Now what I have to remember to do in a while loop is add 1 to my counter. Right now I think this doesn't do anything yet, so I have to wire this span up to that. OnClick is going to equal loop. So let's see if that does it. There we go. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I could style up those spans just a little bit. What did I call it? I gave it a class list of count. So for my dot count, I'm going to give it a background color of, let's go with dark steel, dark slate gray, no, dark slate blue, and a color of white. Run, run. Then we'll just drop a margin in there of 5 pixels. And then we can see that each of them is there. Width of 40 pixels just for fun. Make it all look a little better. We could even do a text align of center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that's how I would do this with a while loop. With a for loop, what I do, I'm going to go ahead and comment all this out. Command slash should do that. We get slashes across all of that stuff. It's a little strange that the coloring didn't work here, but it's for real. So I can put all of these things that are working together. So here I've got my initial value, here I've got the condition, and here I've got my increment, how much I'm changing by, in this case 1 with that plus plus shortcut. So what I'm going to do in this case, var counter equals 0, that's this line right here. Counter is less than 10, that's our condition. Counter plus plus, this is our increment or our change. And then I can borrow this part, copying and pasting to show you that I'm not changing a thing about all that. Okay? So this line is the same as this line plus this line plus this line. Okay? And I don't have to figure out where exactly they should all go, it just all works together. So I run it this way, and it runs. And it's the exact same thing that it was, which may not be especially indicative. So I can make my inner HTML 4 plus the counter. That's 4, 0, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, and if I want a space there, I can drop that into the quote. 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that works pretty nicely. If I want to manipulate it, I can change it. I could go from 100 to 10,000 by 5s and run it 100, 105, 110, 115. So I did such a big number to show you that you can get an awful lot done with very small changes and even go from not to 10,000 but to 100,000 when you accidentally add an extra 0. So that's the basic of a for loop. Notice that we could flip this around and do a minus minus on that. So we look at it, I started at 100, counter is less than 1, it's never less than 1, so it didn't run. Counter is greater than 1, greater than 1. You gotta make sure that your condition matches your situation. And then I click that, 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95. Okay? So now I get control over where I'm at in it. I can do different things based on that counter, and next time we'll talk about how to manipulate arrays with this and how to use the for each loops. Thanks for watching.